NMF TV. Silence your radio, kill your television. NMFTV.com.
Why did you refuse to be the Ascal's head coach countless times?
I've been there, done that. Too much politics, like I said. Like I posted one time a few days ago, coaching is a thankless job. With what's happening with Michael Weiss, we talked about it already before, personally, one-on-one, and I said, it happens. And I said, you should know that because you worked also somewhere in other countries as well. It's a permanent job in coaching, in any sport.
All right, folks, the hibernation is over and we're back here on Hands On. How long has it been, Coach?
Another few weeks.
Yeah, once I was out, then you were out, and then now we're back together, and finally we're here, and it's the perfect time to have this man on our show as well, and we're gonna, just for the record, just so that there's no more arguments about how to pronounce his name. How about let's start there, right? Yeah. Let's welcome him to the show before we start discussing everything else. Let's call him in. Yeah, Jorge Kuriyama of
Coach Jorge
is here. Round of applause, guys. Woo! Nice.
First guest to get applause.
That's right.
You beat Dan, Michael Weiss, Thomas Dooley. My golly, Jorge.
Before we get going with Coach Jorge, by the way, we just want to...
Jorge, okay?
Yeah.
Not George.
Yeah, a lot of people call him George just because of the way his name is spelled. And I've been trying to tell Coach Jorge to tell everybody that it's Jorge. Stop getting people to call you George.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation.
Yeah.
And hello to your fans. And well, actually, I don't hear my name in Philippines a lot. I used to get called Coach. So
That's right.
I don't have these problems with it's my name. But yeah, it's Jorge in Spanish, it's George in English. But thank you for having me here.
Yeah, absolute pleasure for us to have you here. We've always wanted to have Coach Jorge come out to the podcast. So finally that you're here, it's going to be an interesting one. You know, it's always a fun time talking to Coach Jorge when you're watching the games or whenever you get a chance to have a few
besides,
words
we're going to pick his brains out.
Yeah, absolutely. And,
because Coach, we don't really know him that much.
And we know Coach Jorge is not the type to hold back his words, right? That's true, right, Coach Jorge?
Yeah, that could be. I like to express myself.
Yeah.
Of course, no misrespect anybody. It's just my point of view. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but it's...
And he likes to keep his job.
See, exactly.
All right, before we get moving on to the rundown, let's just say a quick shout out to the people who make this podcast possible. Of course, S03E11 Football Club. Thank you guys so much for always supporting the show. And of course, LGR. You guys are amazing. Ryan, thank you so much. I hooked us up with some new goodies, and we're looking good. These hoodies and these new shirts. We gotta get Coach Jorge one of these.
Absolutely.
We gotta get Coach Jorge one of these hoodies. But amazing stuff. Hopefully we'll be able to produce them in a sort of a mass situation so that we can get to some of the fans some hoodies, man. I know it's hot.
No, if Ryan's watching now, maybe even watches tomorrow.
Yeah.
You still have a day or two to bring it out during the All-Star.
Because the Filipinos, they love sweating inside the hoodies.
Yeah, like Jorge was just asking why.
As long as we look good, it doesn't matter. No, but seriously, these hoodies are pretty damn cool. So hopefully, Ryan, you guys can hook up some of the fans. But really appreciate you guys helping us out here on the program, making us look legit. All right, so let's move on to the rundown. And this is where we talk about all the latest news in Philippine football. And because we are, improving, everything is moving in a upwards trajectory here on the show, we're going to call it, and we're going to show you something that's pretty damn cool as well. It's time for the rundown. Other than that, unbelievable stuff. Pico and Ange, they're doing their thing down there. Amazing stuff. So let's start things off with the team standings in the first division of the UFL. And thanks to Global FC, things are now nice and tight at the top once more. We were all afraid that S03E11 might just go ahead and run away with it in the first round, but they only have a 3-point advantage. Stallion right underneath them. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure a lot of people would have been surprised by that. And then Global is right there. Kaya and Loyola all tied on 19 points. So this is one heck of a title race that we're having here in the first division of the UFL. Coach Jorge, rough start for Global in this first round. But you guys, after all the 2 defeats, the 1 draw, everybody was saying Global is not gonna be competing for the title this season. It's gonna be S03E11, Loyola, and Kaya. And then look at this. Right now, you guys are in 3rd place ahead of Kaya and Loyola, and it's all very tight.
Yeah. Well, how we start not as strong as we want to be. I think we lost like maybe 4 players. They're key players for us, transfers, so they're no longer anymore with the club. But also the preseason, that was a little bit no time to prepare the team. So some players are really out of the shape. I think we drew the first game with Green Archers.
That's right, yeah, 1-1.
And you know, it's 2 points. You're thinking about it. If we have these 2 points right now, that will be very close. And then we lost 2 key games, but we fixed things in the club. We're talking with the players 1v1, like, you know, what about them, how can we maximize the potential for each player. So after we do that, we go through the way the global played last year. So now we start to coming back at the same level that we had last year, or even better.
Yeah, the game you guys played against Ceres de Sal, you guys were fantastic. The best we've ever seen of Global FC, at least in this season. I'm not sure if we're going to throw in Patinerinyong last season, but really that one heck of a performance. You guys played them off the pitch 2-0, absolutely deserved that victory.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Ceres, I think they had the chances. I think my goalkeeper, Sadia, was amazing that day. I mean, well, the keepers of Global, they always are amazing. But the discipline, tactical we have, especially defensively in the corner kicks, that's something we struggled in the past. That's somehow Ceres always score against us, set plays. So we fixed things. And I think that was a very good game for the fans, for everybody watching the game. But, you know, in the end of the day, somebody had to win, and I'm very happy that it's us.
Of course, Coach Jorge is not only the goalkeeping coach of Global FC, but also the national team. So you get an opportunity to assess. And
I think he's got something to say about it.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
thank you, Hans. Well,
I told you, we don't put our guests in spots.
Since January, I get or maybe February, I get a meeting with Thomas Zulli, coach, and he informed me it's like he want to go a different way. So I'm no longer anymore an ASCALs officially, and I like to put in something in my Facebook just to tell in the fans, because believe me or not, I have some fans over there.
Yeah.
To inform them that I'm no longer with the national team, but I think maybe it's better the people they find it by themselves. You know, I don't have anything to talk by only good things about to be in the ASCALs. I wish the best luck for them and the new coach. Actually, he was before, I think, with Coach Wise. Last year I think we do very well with the ASCAL. So now the bar is very high. So they need to improve that to qualify for the World Cup, I believe so. But I wish all the best to all the coaches. Dan, Palami, they invite me over there, and Thomas, Sebastian, and the new goalkeeper coach.
Let's get out from rundown, since we're already asking Jorge about his coaching. Which came first when you came over to the Philippines? You as a goalkeeping coach for the ASCALs or for Global? Which was first?
Well,
or same time, or both?
I think before I come in full-time in Philippines, Dan Palami had the vision to improve Filipino football. So they take us to Tacloban, they take us to San Carlos, to do some clinics, to working with the under-23s at that time. And, you know, every time we're here, we improve the Filipino football, right? Now it's much better, but in that times, they're struggling big time. So the original plan is to help Filipino football in all the levels. And the offer was like this. I had to come into coaching in Global FC. Once they saw what we're doing there, I get the invitation to training with the national team, and in the end, it's like there are other coaches over there. When I came, Filipinos, and you know, I don't say they're bad or good. We are just different. The way we working is totally different. And Thomas, he was happy with what I bring into the team, so he gave me the invitation. That was for the Challenge Cup in the beginning last year.
Right. We went all the way to the finals in that one.
Yeah, it's one of the tournaments, very, well, the name is like that, Challenge. We have many problems over there with the organization. We need to take in a boat, and some people, they get ocean
seasickness.
Seasickness.
So by the time they come into the game, strong guys, they come in like not really well. But we beat all these adversities, and nobody believed the Filipinos will win the final. And when we are there, we lost 1-0. I mean, very close game and very proud for all the players are there. We in that tournament, I think in particular, we make something in Philippines struggling about is to make a family. That was a very strong group, coaches and players. I miss that staff. I miss the players.
Wow. Well, I missed the fact that you were no longer part of the national team, but thanks for the service. Really do appreciate it. I mean, we did get to great heights with you there and helping out the goalkeepers, and I'm sure the goalkeepers would have great things to say about you. I mean, a lot of them progressed a lot under your watch. Yeah,
I mean, I think I create a little problems over there because I have no favoritism for anyone. So when some player is better than another, I mean, sorry, the national team is first. We coaches, we live for the results. So if a keeper is not doing well, but it's my responsibility to respond why the other keepers don't play. But when the keeper is not in the loop and play and doing well, and the other keeper don't be happy, I mean, in the end of the day, you have to looking for the results. And I think in that year, we have the more clean sheets in the history of the national team in 1 year. And we had 3 massive competitions, and we have a lot of friends as well. So I use about maybe 6 keepers, including Thomas Trigo, now he's in Loyola. He played 50 minutes, and hopefully, well, he didn't get a goal. And right now, I'm very happy because now he's a starting member for Loyola. Yeah. And I'm very happy to be part of his progression. But all the things they do, each individual keeper is by themselves. I just there to give some guides. Yeah. And yeah, very.
So very Jorge, you came in for a different reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, because of what they saw with your work and what you did in which is the positivity that you gave out to the Filipino keepers, and that's when you cut into the global scene and then into the ASCALs. So that's something else. That's easy. Yeah. That was an easy job for Dan. Instead of looking for somebody else from abroad when he came in for a different program.
I mean, yeah. When the first time I come here, is like the organization of Global was totally different than what is right now. Today, Global is a professional club. When we come in the first time, I mean, I remember even some days there's not even water to drink, and it's in the middle of the summer, and maybe sometimes they bring in 5 balls, and with that you had to train in maybe 25 people. So it's changing for good, and I'm very happy to be part of that change. Yeah,
you'll be seeing some photos. And you can find him on Facebook as well, Coach Jorge Kuriyama. Yeah. Well, no coach, just Jorge Kuriyama.
That's the new stadium in Philippines, the sport arena.
Yeah, first team to be able to play there is actually global.
I feel very blessed in this country because I'm part of history and in national team and in the club. And moments like this is stay there forever. We are the first team playing in that stadium. And not just play, we give you a good game.
Yeah, you guys
4-1, sorry?
Yeah, 4-1, you guys won.
We lost 1 penalty, could be 5, but the game was amazing. It was amazing.
I like how your focus is always, you guys conceded 1 goal.
Let me ask, Jorge, were there a lot of that came over?
Sorry?
A lot of the fans came over?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised. It's kind of far away.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of fans.
There were a lot.
I believe maybe some people they go to see us lost. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. But they will be very surprised how good we play because in this AFC the level is totally different.
Yeah,
it's totally different. I think it's global is sometimes you say when you win a new competition you have to pay the rights to be there, and we pay very expensive price 6-1 at home. Yeah. But after that, we struggling with the lineups. And the challenge for the coaches, we need to maximize the things that each player that we have, and facing the next games, what with the players that we have at the moment. And I think in the last game we play, they believe everything that we're saying. All the probabilities going to happen in the game, set plays, how the opposition play, everything is in the papers in the dressing room. So for the players, it's more easy to go and facing these kind of games, but. I say it like this always. Could not happen if it's not for the players. The players is the ones that do everything over there.
Actually, I was telling everybody else that had ear to lend to me. So bagay. Even if they don't want to listen, they'll have to listen.
Yeah, right? It's kind of the case.
I was saying actually, even in the first game against South China, if Global didn't have that mess with regards to their lineup, I think it wouldn't be 6-1. It will be either a draw or even a win for Global. Because South China wasn't that spectacular. They were simple. Yeah. which is, except for the two behemoths is up front,
Yeah.
the two giant strikers, which the global players couldn't match up with. But their game was simple, and you could see that we were holding on their own. You know? I mean, global was holding their own.
Yeah.
It just so happens during the counter, you know, the global wasn't ready. But I still think that, you know, if the lineup, there was no problem in the lineup. I don't think we just had the 3 points or 4 points that the global have.
Yeah,
I think they'll have more points now.
that's interesting.
I'm not saying that just because Jorge is here.
Right. No, it's an interesting that you bring up. I mean, obviously, so much history created with that 4-1 win against Yada Narbonne. I believe that's how you say their name.
Yeah.
They're a team from Myanmar. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first ever win in the AFC
For any
Cup
Filipino.
for the Filipino team. That's incredible. But you guys started off, like you said, tough position, 6-1 against South China. And a lot of people were looking with raised eyebrows at the lineup. A lot of people were thinking, this is not the Global FC I know, not the one that I watched in the UFL and dominate. A lot of the names I'm seeing right now, I've never actually seen or seen play. Can you give us a little bit of insight on that, on what happened and why that's so for Global and AFC Cup?
Well, yeah, I think one of the biggest problems that we have is the misunderstanding about the registration with the players. I mean, every single club that registered 30 players.
Yeah.
And is 3 foreigners and 1 AFC could be an Asian player.
Okay.
So it's totally 4 foreigners. We are the only club in that competition. We have 1 free slot for a foreigner that we never use. And we have only 15 players or 16 players, something like this.
Yeah.
And of course, consideration injuries. You know, Paulo Bugas is in school. School don't let him traveling with us. Paulo Selenga also some kind of problems with the school. So you finish with a lot of headaches for the coaches to start a game. Now it's easy to say, oh, you know, we cannot perform. No. We need to find a solution for the problem. So that is the people that don't see these kind of problems. But we are not there to cry. We are there to fix some problems. So pleased with the group of the players we have. They start to believe the idea that we put in there. And we cannot register any players until if we go to the group stage. Now we can bring in new players. But right now is what it is, and we need to face in the tournament what we have.
The biggest noise that came out was about Matthew Hartman.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew that the transfer was mainly because of the AFC, so he can use him. Then suddenly he wasn't in the lineup. So a lot of people, until now actually, they're all wondering what really happened. I know for a bit, but it's not for me to say. I'm not in the global organization.
Thank you, Hans.
And if don't say thank you yet, I'm going to put you in the spot. But Jorge, since Jorge is in the global organization, I heard a few things. I mean, the first game, I just came from parking my car. I was just walking, and you know, the press here in the Philippines are mga chismoso and chismosa, paparazzi. So I said, Coach, did you hear? I said, I just arrived. What did I hear? I don't know what happened. Then he said, the lineup's only 15 players. I said, what? And Matthew Hartman's not even in there. I said, what? All my questions, what, why? And then when I got into the stadium, I saw the other players sitting down. Spectators, I mean global players, right? Like Izu, Matthew, Yoshide, and the rest. So, I think maybe, I don't know if Dan's going to allow you to say this, but we don't have any other global guest here.
Yeah.
And since you're here, just for your fans and for the Filipino fans, because a lot of people, you know, what's nice is, you know, Jorge, when the first game that you guys had, you'd see players, coaches, staff, management of all the other EFL clubs cheering for you guys. Yeah. Okay, cheering for you guys. Except for that, I told you those 3 ladies in front of me that I wanted to freaking slap. Filipinas cheering for South China. I just want to call you bitches. I mean, siguro na nung the night before, you know, customer or client. Anyway, they even have freaking placards for the other team. I mean, Filipinas going.
But Hans, it's good to have fans and people support the other team. Otherwise, football will be so boring.
No problem, Jorge, with fans. But fans for a different reason. But that's something else. That's what I would not like. I'm sorry. Something else. No, but I'm saying is, I think Bob Guerrero wrote about it. Ryan Phoenix wrote about it. all the other bloggers wrote about it, which is a good sight.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like in the World Cup, there's no clubs anymore. Everybody's cheering for your country, regardless of where the players come from.
Yeah.
Here in Philippines, we just started this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first time a Filipino would experience something. The 2 Filipino clubs are playing. I have a chance to play in the AFC, and no matter how many were there in the stadium, they were all really cheering for global.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when did you guys score the one? What's it, 6-0 there, 5-0?
No, 6-0.
It was 6-0.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, obviously, it's a far gone conclusion, right?
85 minutes, I think.
Yeah, when you guys scored, you heard the crowd.
It's amazing.
You heard the crowd. I mean, they were all happy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My hair stood. I said, "This is good feeling."
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. I just wanted to kick the people in front of me because they were here behind me. They transferred here, and we're all looking. We were looking at each other, waiting for somebody. But it was a good turnout.
Yeah.
This only says something about Philippine football. There will be global. There's going to be Kaya. There's going to be Loyal. There's going to be Archers. There's going to be Socceroos, whatever. But what's good is a lot more people are educated about the sport.
Right.
You'll never see that before.
Right.
You'll never see that before.
I think we started this question though with regards to Matt Hartman.
Oh, I tried to change the conversation.
No.
That's why
This is my job.
You're good.
This is my job, is to stay on topic. So
You thought you got away with it, huh?
the idea was Matt Hartman, and the fact that everybody was there to support.
Yeah.
A lot of them were also very intrigued as to why some of these players, like you, Ushide, and like Matthew Hartman, were not part of the setup.
Yeah. Well, first of all, with Matthew, last year I almost watching every single game of the UFL. It was an Emperador, and that was very near to my house, so I had the opportunity to watch in almost all the games. And one of the players I saw all the time is Matthew. And in the semifinals, we play against Loyola in the cup, the one we lost with Ceres. I see this guy in November, and I said to Mark, because you know they're brothers. You know, I think your brother will be very very good asset for us. So you know, can you find out if he's how long is his contract? So you know, one thing taken to another, and as soon as I know, Coach Lee have already in his book. So yeah, it's an amazing player. We won this guy for a long time ago, but I think the final decision is like we won it from the AFC, no question about it. So we're trying to do everything on time. And what happened, I'm not really sure what happened in the end, but that's a shame that we cannot have it in the AFC. But that was the original idea. They have Matthew in the competition, but to be fair, he's not part of the thing, and he's training so hard with us. And you can see he has very good motivation to be in Global FC. And well, it's a shame that we don't have this player in the AFC because it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys need, what is necessary for you guys to progress from the group stages? You already have one win, and you guys have a draw.
We need to play with China next Wednesday. So
In Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong. So you know, it's a good test to see our capability to keep going for this tournament. I have all the confidence to go there and at least to get a draw. But we don't want to get a draw, we want to get a win. But of course, we need to see how the game is over there. That team is already qualified, so we presume maybe they will bring some...
Take it easy, yeah.
Maybe subs, I don't know. But we need to be ready. Whatever is coming, we need to be ready. And I think the group right now is very strong. They're coming very motivated for one victory. And after that, we want to play in Philippines against the Malaysian club. And if we beat these guys, we want to go second place with no difference goals by points. But we need to draw in.
I don't think South China's going to take it easy. I don't think so. You know why?
Why?
You're coming off from a 4-1 win.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So they know that the Global has something, you know, that they can prove.
In the first game, I think we give you 4 goals by armistice passings.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
I tell
yes,
you,
yes.
you pay the price to be in a new competition. That was too expensive, but even if I saw the video maybe 2-3 times. We are playing better in some laps of the games, but we cannot produce because we have no striker.
Yeah.
We have no striker. And but the chances, the move of the ball in the midfield was good. And yeah, one mistake in these competitions, you pay very hard price.
Yeah.
UFL, sometimes you make mistakes and the strikers, they don't put it in, so you're like, oh, you have a chance, second chance. Here, they have one chance, they score.
Yeah.
It's another level.
Yeah.
Big.
There's during the game, the first game you guys had against South China, I was hearing a lot of comments about Mark. I mean, playing the lone striker, but since Mark doesn't get the ball, he comes down.
Yeah.
So when he comes down and to receive the ball in the midfield, in the attacking mid-third, or even he goes all the way back to the defensive mid-third, and people saying, how will Global score when the only striker is coming down to the mid-third to receive the ball into play? And I don't think Lee's tactics, strategy was, for overlapping of the other midfielders, like the wingers, to cover his space. That's why they weren't able to score. I mean, I'm saying this because of as a coach, the way I saw it. This is good because a lot of people understand a little bit more about the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it that way, but if you're trying to analyze the game, you still think, why is Coach Lee allowing Mark to come down when there's no attack? That's you just said. You didn't have any strikers. Because obviously there was no, not the real complete Global lineup. But I think since they're performing pretty well now in the UFL, and then coming out with a 4-1 win in the AFC, I think, like Jorge said earlier, they're gelling now much better. Mm-hmm. They have ironed out their kinks in the team, and we're hoping for the best. I mean, honestly, sincerely, from the heart, we want Global to win.
No doubt.
You said, yeah. I believe you, Jorge, when you said some people came over all the way to the, how do you call that stadium?
Philippine Stadium.
Philippine Stadium?
Yeah.
It was so hard to remember. Philippine Stadium who came to watch your game and to see you guys lose.
Yeah.
Good thing you shut them up. I mean, I hate fans like that. I mean, come on, man. You're representing the country, not only representing the club, but you're a club from the Philippines. You fans have to learn. Don't feel ill will for other teams just because you're not around. Yeah. If you want to be around, then do better, Conyo. Practice harder and do something with what Global is it, and then Ceres. So, and I think also next year, is it every year? No, every 2 years.
Every year.
Every year. I think next year, I think there'll be a lot more clubs. I mean, if Ceres is fortunate enough to be there, I think Ceres will be better prepared. And just to show you that the clubs here in the Philippines, the UFL clubs, mean business.
Yeah, you're getting much more professional.
Sure.
He was just our guest. They're one of our last guests.
Yeah.
Coach Cha was booted out because the Maldives lost.
Debacle.
They lost at the end of the game, 1-0, because management saw that everything was changed. They have Global has their way, Loyola has their way, and every club have their way of training and their philosophy in their game. Of course, everybody wants to win, but everybody has their own philosophy, different coaches, different minds. With Ceres, they trained the Ceres way, and then when it came to the game in Maldives, it was completely changed.
And that's actually something that we wanted to bring up as well, Coach Jorge. Some of the people would criticize Global for, let's say, changing things up when you reach the next level too much. Like there was that one time where that Sanogo character was that goalkeeper. I don't know if you know that story of.
No, Jorge wasn't here yet.
I was not here. But, I hear about it. And, in some point, I think he tried to score a goal.
He was called the clown.
And I mean, that is something funny, right? But I say to Dan, why you not call me? I can play better than this guy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But that was like I was not here yet.
Right. So what people are saying are pointing to that, and then this new campaign in the AFC Cup saying they're changing everything around because they're reaching a next level. When what brought them to that level was all of the good work that you guys were doing here, and then to change everything, it doesn't seem like it's a proper thing. But obviously, you will have to think into consideration that you're stepping up in level.
Sure.
So you have to, change some things around. But obviously there's got to be some sort of a balance that you guys are finding.
A very good example there would be the Ceres team.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying because the coach is my former player, team owner is a friend of mine, and Ceres sponsors our show. But when they got into the first division, management thought, I mean, if they kept the same lineup, what they had in the second division, they're not going to do that well in the first division. And they really ended up spending. I mean, they have got quite a number of players from Global, and then they got a lot of players from all over, and now they even have players from abroad. So, I mean, field foreigners.
So that's sort of my question to Coach Jorge is, how's that affected you guys, knowing that there's been a lot of shuffling and chopping and changing with your squad with the anticipation of the step up?
I think the one key for this profession or this game is like, you cannot stock when you're success, you have to improve what do you have.
Yeah.
And sometimes the transition is cost you because new players, new ideas, the adaptation of the group, that's why we lost some games over there. But once, when you fix everything, you can see it's better than before. That's when you say, that changes is good.
It's like you buy a classic car and you're trying to restore it.
Yeah.
So once you get all the parts together, then it's going to look brand new. So what Jorge is saying, for the others who don't understand, what Coach Jorge is saying is, the reason why they didn't perform too well in the beginning of the league was mainly because of that. Different players, a lot of influx of young players coming into the global organization. But now, they fixed up the problems. The players are gelling together. They're doing pretty well now. And off air, Jorge said, I don't think they're going to lose any other game from now on. They're going to win all. Yeah. But maybe our church will give them a hard time now, again.
Yeah.
I want to see Lee lose his hair with a team like ours anyway. But definitely, from what we've noticed since day one in the UFL, of course, it's because also new players coming in, Filipino locals and foreigners and field foreigners. Although a lot of people, there was a discussion on Facebook that they don't like the word field foreigners. What do you want to call them? Filipinos. Okay, fine. Let's call them Filipinos.
Okay.
Every club is getting better.
Yeah.
You can see every club, there's improvement. The problem is now that we're all praying for is that it can be maintained.
Yeah.
Continuous maintenance. So the program continues, and there's no other way but up for Philippine football. Yeah. I want to talk for Philippine football. I mean, generally it's better to talk for the country itself. And I've noticed, I came a few weeks ago, I came from Negros, and then last week I came from Masbate, and I saw a lot of kids. I'm surprised. I mean, I've known that there are a lot of players, but the young kids now, I can see already here, future UFL, future ASCALs. Yeah. I mean, damn good kids, man, 12-year-olds that really know how to play. Yeah. Beach football, get the kids from Boracay. They've been only playing 1 year, but my God, it's like they're walking in sand.
Right.
All the other teams are playing against, they're playing like in a football field. But beach, is very hard.
A lot of this has to do with the fact that they get to see teams like Global and play so well, and obviously there's that development, but there's that question still that I'm sort of interested in finding is the answer to from Coach Jorge is that thing that certain players that weren't given the opportunity to represent the club. Let's say, I think Yu Hoshide is the best example. A lot of people looked at Yu Hoshide and the way he played the end of last season and how integral he was to Global's championship win, and to be bypassed for the AFC Cup. I'm sure he wasn't happy about that as a player. And a lot of Global fans are wondering, why not put the faith in somebody like him who's been a veteran at a club? Then, what's the name of your defender? Like the big giant of a man.
Jana?
Yeah, so he was very new, and obviously he gets slotted straight in to the lineup. And a lot of people are wondering, why not Yu Hoshide? Obviously they play different positions, but why not a veteran of the club and put faith in him? Something like that.
Well, that's everything is like what we're talking in the beginning. We're supposed to have one striker. In the midfield, I think we have no too much problems right now. from the campaign. But I mean, this is like, well, people say one find out sooner or later. Isu was a foreign striker.
Oh, he was.
Yes.
And some documents, paper problems, AFC didn't make it through. So that's why we have no striker and we have one slot for a foreigner. And it's not that we don't want to bring Hoshide, it's just like the players that we need to have to face the competition. I think we have it right. It's just like when you have a lot of players, of course, if somebody's gonna miss to be in all competitions, like for instance, we wanna face in another competition next month. We wanna go to Singapore Cup.
That's right.
But this time now we're gonna bring the strongest team that we have, hopefully. And also we wanna go there to complete. We wanna go there to win. We don't go in there to see what's happening. Last year, unfortunately, I was in Maldives with the national team when they played the tournament over there, and they lost in the first game, so they need to back home. And now this time, the idea, we prepare everything so good that we thinking about reaching the final. Of course, I don't like to win a competition thinking, oh, maybe we can win 1 or 2 games and that will be, wow, we're amazing. No. You need to go there to win a tournament.
When is the Singapore Cup?
I think it's next month.
Ooh, so you guys are going to be busy.
Yeah, but it's good to be busy. I don't like to, I don't want to say names, but one of the players there now in the beach taking holidays. And I don't say teams, but we have no time for that.
Drop some names, Coach Jorge. Drop some names.
No. You can check on Facebook.
Some clubs, some archers.
Some guys they give you, I think, holidays. Because now the UFL stopped, right? We have no time for that because we need to prepare for a Hong Kong game, and we need to also desire to what players want to stay with us and who's not. Because yesterday we have 30 players in our training with us for a month. So now the window is open. So who stays, who's leaving, this and that. I cannot say names.
Yeah.
But
we'll find out next week.
We have no time to relax. Like many coaches, I believe, finish work and they go home and forget about it. Football, I know. I go there and I'm watching videos, prepare and this and that, and not just that. Watching Champions League, watching Mexican League, watching everything is football. You're always learning something new in each game.
The only thing that a lot of people, the Filipinos, don't understand is when we're talking about the changes, the development, the progress that we're having in Philippine football, is what just Jorge said a few sentences earlier. I just want to put it in perspective. It's the attitude. Because remember even before the team leaves the country, they've lost the game already. Just like some kids here. Oh, we're playing this team. Oh, lakas ng team. Shit, they're so strong.
Right.
Before you even set on the pitch, before you step on the pitch, you lost already.
Yeah.
I'm with Jorge in thinking that way. We're going there to win.
Yeah.
We're going there to play. We have no time to relax. That's why it's so difficult sometimes with some different organizations. You can't say so much because you're only up to a certain point. You don't have that much voice there. But if I were a team owner, oh damn, you're going to work every centavo I'm paying you.
No, it's great to hear the kind of commitment levels that are at Global right now. And obviously a lot of people, it's easy to go from the outside and throw stones at Global right now. It's an easy target, you know what I mean? You guys had the great opportunity to be in the AFC
they're
Cup.
called haters.
Yeah.
But don't take me wrong. I come from Mexico, and the culture is like this. So at the highest level you play, and the better club that you are, you have more enemies than friends.
Yeah.
And that makes you strong. If that didn't kill you, like they say, they make you stronger.
Yeah,
And for me, when you have people against what we do, I feel better. I feel like more motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
But when we win, and these people they come into you and say hello, I'm no arrogant to them. I just try normal because I need them to get better. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but that's the way I get educated.
I like it.
Exactly.
You're using it as motivation.
In Mexico. And another thing is like talking about these ASCAL things and this and that. When I find out the news, right, we just lost with South China in that week. So I just get the news. I don't want to be longer in the ASCALs. Patrick have one crucial mistake in that game, and plus that he get injured, and then we need to go to what they call Singapore with only 2 substitutions, and not just that, the youngest keepers that we have, he need to play the game in front of 25, 30,000 people. A kid is coming from the school. He's like, oh my God. And you know, I said to Sean Palami, is the brother of Mr. Dan, he's ready. He's ready to play. And he asked me, but he's going to be doing good. He's going to be well. I said, well, you know, it's an answer that you don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. He don't know the answer, but he's training good. Before the game, I give him a script. You know, this is what's going to happen. You know, manage the timing, this and that. Everything go almost perfect. And he have luck as well. You know, he make maybe 2-3 mistakes. Didn't go to the score, but for a 20-year-old kid, play the game. And all this happening that week, I cannot put in a face that, oh, I'm sad. Or, no. Just put, you know, strong personality over there. Of course, after the game, it's one of the first times I just take a moment, I go down.
No one has noticed.
Very heavy stuff.
The most noticeable was that, was Jun.
Yeah.
Badelik's game.
Yeah, he played a great game.
He was playing very well considering, you know, people first time, oh, why him? They say like that, no? But when he got to play, I mean, how would you say that he made a very good account of himself?
Yeah.
Very good account of himself.
I didn't even know how to pronounce his name. Like when I saw him, I was like, who's this guy? I didn't even see him. He looks tiny.
But now you know him.
Yeah, I know him.
Now people know him.
Yeah,
Now a lot of people know him.
I'm very pleased. I'm very happy to be part of that.
Yeah.
But like I said again, doesn't matter how much you're training or how much you do. The players, they do everything in the field. If they do well or they do bad, it's them. But if they do bad, of course, it's the coaches.
Yeah.
If they do well, it's only themselves. And I always take that. You know, is I mean, in Philippines, I think it's not too many goalkeeper coaches.
Yeah.
But you know, we have a very big responsibility there because one mistake, you know, doesn't matter. Stop one penalty. Where they're just talking about that mistake, even if you win. So, you know, mentally we need to be very, very strong.
I think, that's the weakness.
Yeah.
Number one weakness of the Filipino football player is the mental preparedness.
Yeah.
I mean, like I just said earlier, before they even step on the pitch, they've lost. It's getting better. It's getting there because I could see the swag now of a lot of the youth players.
Yeah.
Not just UFL youth players, but all around the country. Use the confidence level of these kids. I'm talking about boys and girls. You see the big difference. Yeah. You can see in the face. Yeah. You can see in the body English. Yeah. You know, if you walk in the stadium with your shoulders slouched, I mean, come on. You know, like when you take a penalty kick. Hamlang!
Yeah.
Last shot, sudden death, and Hamlang comes walking like this. Hamlang! Sit down! Replace. There's something like that.
It's a funny story there. Is in the Suzuki Cup, we playing against Thailand in the second game.
Yeah.
We draw at home, 0-0. So we go there. The stadium was packed. I think 45,000, 50,000 people. So when I jumped to the field, it's coming Thomas Trigo and Patrick. So I said to them, look at that. And they're like, wow. They're like, Thomas is like, wow, what is it? And I said, wow, this. I thought this is going to be better or bigger. It's too small. And they look at me like, no, this is big. No, I mean, come on, this is nothing. It's Mexico, and the Estadio Azteca is 100,000 people. It's like really supporting one team. I said, this is nothing. But I tell him, like, when you cross the line, these people, they cannot jump in the field, so they stay outside. Yeah. It's 11 against 11. Exactly. Just focus in this and you know, do what you training. You will be success. Yeah. So just take it off the pressure from these guys. And it's the same thing I tell him to Junjun when he played in what do you call it, in Malaysia. Yeah. He get the point. 0-0, clean sheet.
Yeah. What a game that came.
That was amazing.
And you said that was a very emotional moment for you after
very
the final
emotional, very emotional because, you know, it's like, you know, lose something is like not be part of the national team after all the hard work is like, of course, I'm a human being. So I held them in the way to be success last year. We don't win any tournament, but you know the part that I get involved to working with the keepers, I think was good. Could be great, maybe yes, but I think for me it's just trying to help also the people that are in Philippines base, not just bringing people from Europe because that for me is you had to help also the nationals here. But, you know, different coaches, different ideas, different philosophies. But in the end of the day, you lost that. You put in too much effort. Of course, it's emotional. But, you know, you cannot show that to the players or to the fans. Or, well, my family, yes, I always speak with them what's going on in my life. But, yeah, after all these things is happening, you know, you have this young kid, and you know they back you up your job. You know, you're not just talking; you're working really hard. That was for me a very emotional moment.
Sports is like a family. That's the way I see it. I mean, like Jorge here, when they left the country, I'm talking about global, not the Ascals. It's like this Junjun is so young, 20 years old. He has to look at Jorge as the dad. It's like the dad is holding his hand to lead him the right way. Like you're going on sightseeing, you don't want to fucking get lost in a city you've never been in. You know, like you're in Beijing, you get lost. You're gonna freaking lose your mind. You're looking for that. That's how it is. As a coach, Lisa, I've been saying this on past episodes. It's not easy being a coach. I mean, people ask, what's the difference between a goalkeeping coach and the head coach or another assistant coach? Nothing. There's no difference. The only difference is Jorge is goalkeeping coach. His business is to take care of the goalkeepers. Right. That's his business. He doesn't have to do the tacticals or whatever unless the head coach, asks because there are some plays, different plays. You know, there's some plays that the goalkeeper really moves out. Sure. Not like the past clown goalkeeper that Global took in, you know,
I don't
spent so much. No, you're safe there. You weren't around yet.
Okay.
For that. What I'm saying is, the head coach there is the big brother, the daddy of the whole team. Sorry Dan, but we're talking about family. Dan is the lolo. Dan Palame is the grandfather of Global and of the Ascals. Thomas and Lee, respectively, are the dads of the Ascals and Global. And Jorge here is the tito. He's the uncle. So, but doesn't mean that all he does is discipline only the goalkeepers. He covers also the rest of the other players. I mean, if I see any of my players who are not goalkeepers and they disrespect my goalkeeping coach, oh man, they're going to get it from me. They will get it from me. Because a goalkeeping coach is an integral part of a coaching staff in football. We've never had that, if we say about 10 years ago, maybe not even 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think people are seeing the importance of.
Now you can see they're goalkeeping coaches. Some were never really goalkeepers, but since economy plays a big part, so anybody here, you be the goalkeeping coach. Although he was never a goalkeeper. Right. But it's going to get there. It's going to get better. Rayleigh San Agustin, Ref Quaresma, and all the other goalkeepers, UFL, past keepers, they have the goalkeeping academy. I mean, you've heard about it? Have you been invited to do
I saw, and even keepers like, I think Nick O'Donnell is doing some summer camps.
Yeah. So
and I'm happy they're promoting the culture to be goalkeepers, not just coaches, players, kids. Like one time when Patrick Dekto played against Malaysia and stopped a penalty in the last minute. I saw they want to interview him so badly. And I said, Patrick, I want to ask you one favor. I don't normally ask him favors. Say, please promote the goalkeeper for the kids, for the new generations. Now is the moment. Now is the time. That's the only favor I ask him for me.
But did he?
I think so.
He did.
Yeah,
he should.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, you let me know.
No. It's an amazing person, Patrick.
Yeah. Man, it's there's a lot of responsibility that you carry on your shoulders, not just as a young player, but as a goalkeeper. It's a difficult position to be in because they always say when you interview the coaches afterwards, it's like if a goalkeeper makes one mistake, everybody sees it. If a midfielder loses the ball in midfield and nothing comes of it, then he can get away scot-free, nobody remembers. But if you come out to claim a cross and you miss it by 5 centimeters, you're dead. You're gonna get slaughtered.
Come to think of it, just like what you said, no wonder a lot of kids and a lot of the parents of the children want their kids, their son or the daughter, to be a striker. Because if you're a striker, you're the freaking hero. If you lose, you're not even in the equation of the people that you're going to kill. You're going to kill the defenders, the goalkeepers, the coach. The striker always safe.
Exactly.
But it's like I said again, that also partly is also changing for the good.
That was one time I was in Manchester United in Carrington. We're in the facilities, and this is like community coach area. So we're talking about many things. So they tell, oh, there's a goalkeeper coach in Japan, and da. And the keepers, like the keepers is like that. And I said, you know why? For you, who is the most important player in the field? He said, the strikers. You know, the strikers. I said, why they're so important? You know, score a goal. Yeah, but why they're so famous is because they have to beat the most talented player in the field. That's the goalkeeper. So they think only scoring a goal is that is. No, you have to beat the guys over there. For that, now you can say the striker is famous because they just beaten the strongest player in the team, in my point of view. So it was an argument, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, well, that is, okay, I agree with that. It's like, when you're talking with these people about football, they only think in scoring goals, but, you know, you have to go through the keeper. Sometimes they make an amazing game, and you say, oh, the striker is no good. No, he's good, but the other people is better than him.
You know what I preach to my teams? Not just the goalkeepers, my teams. The goalkeeper is the last man of defense. He's the first man of offense. So how the fuck can you let, take for granted the keeper?
The way I get educated is like, you becoming also assistant coach because you have the very vision in the field. You see everybody, nobody's behind you, so you can organize your team well. Sometimes from the sideline, you don't see things in this side, so the keeper capable to call somebody before or push the line a little early. They have to be not just technically and physically, but the most challenge is the mentality. Psychological part is the most challenging. Physically and technically, I think everybody can do some exercise and get better, but psychological, to go in the minds of the players when they have maybe some kind of mistakes or insecurities in the mind, just to make and concentrate on what we want. That's the biggest challenge for a goalkeeper coach. But in global, I'm not just the goalkeeper coach. Like you said, if the coach asking to you to do, set plays or whatever, I'm very happy to do. But I am more like an assistant coach in global. You can see in the bench, we always talking with Lee, see how the game is going, substitutions, opinions. Sometimes I tell him things. He's not agreed. Sometimes he agreed. But I am not the guy that is somebody. For example, Thomas, if he says something, you have to say all the time, yeah. You have to tell him the other way around because that's why you are there. You just don't want to be there, keeping your job, don't say anything. No, you have to say, hey, listen, this guy is no good, this guy is no good, and then it's coming a mistake from there. Oh, yeah, okay. But, I'm not like, it's the head coach. I cannot tell him that he's wrong. No, we discussions, and sometimes I go right, and sometimes I go wrong. But, we have this dialogue, and it's very important. I don't see this in other coaches in the UFL. They're alone. So, and the other guys, they never talking about making changes or whatever. It's like he's the gaffer.
That's
so
100%.
Yeah, it's very tough. Very tough.
Yeah, one of the... I should say that's the third in my list of that needs improvement, that needs a lot of progress. Number one, of course, we all know is the officiating. Oh shit, I'm remembering again. Never mind. Officiating, then management. And then the third would be that. I mean, there are a lot of coaches here. I am surprised at the way AFC is giving out coaching certificates, licenses, left and right. It's like licenses coming out from the woodworks. The problem is, when they pass these guys are forgetting that it's only a C license, and they still need a lot to learn. Okay, and some of them haven't even reached half of what I've reached in coaching. But what comes out first is the hot air that comes out from their mouths, their nose, and their ears and their eyes. I can say this strongly, with conviction, because in my university teams, I have both men and women that they come from the provinces or from other teams, and they come from so-called licensed coaches. But when they come to me, the university level, it's like I'm starting them all over again. So I ask them, what the fuck were you taught? Give me terms, football terms. If you're a licensed coach, you should know all the terms. And you explain to the kids is number one, you'll never become an asshole. you'll never end up playing the UFL if you're just playing your style, your own style. You have different coaches, and you can only get better. But if you're going to stick to one basic style of coaching, then you'll end up playing only one basic style.
I think maybe that's the reason why there's a lack of confidence from assistant coaches, most of them who are Filipino, who are on the benches. They don't have the confidence in themselves to stand up and talk to somebody like Lee Manson, or to bring up, now, okay, I think you're making a mistake with that substitution, or I don't think you should be going with this formation, or whatever. We don't have that at all. One of them is also because they don't come out and watch all the games. They don't have the dedication that's necessary to make an opinion at a crucial moment, right? They're complaining about the referees, they'll complain about this and that, yada, yada, yada. But they have zero input on how things are going to be run. And then if things go wrong, you're going to go and annihilate your own coach. You're going to go over and say, yeah, I don't know, he's making all the decisions. I don't know, Lee, he doesn't listen. But really, you didn't say anything. That's a problem. And what you were talking about, I think, is very, very important, that regardless if you're right or wrong, or he agrees with you or not,
as I said,
the dialogue needs to happen.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, for instance, in ASCALs, back to the point, is like, I think that was the final of the Peace Cup. And, it's 5 minutes to go. We have 3 substitutions. And, I telling the assistant coach, and that time was Sebastian, oh, you know what, why we not killing the time by making substitution? One by one, by the time you go out, it's no cheating, it's part of the game, part of the rules. You can make substitution, you kill 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And by the time he said, no, you go and tell him. So by the time he don't decide to go, because in that time, I'm thinking I'm just the goalkeeper coach, so I have no right to go to the head coach and tell him what to do. But the mind of the coach is so busy in the game, watching other aspects. These small details, is missing. So by the time I'm stand up, I go to Thomas, let's do, boom, we get the goal.
Yeah.
And say, what? No, forget about it. It's just like, and later after when we having dinner, so I telling Sebastian to do that. Sebastian didn't pass the message on time, and we finished with we losing the Peace Cup. And it's the same with Lee. Sometimes I don't have to tell anything. He do everything. But when I see something that he no see, it's very important to have people around you, not just to tell you so have the knowledge of this game, because it's not just running or tactical. It's everything, emotionally, physical. I mean, you can see some players they are there. Never use. You put it in the right moment and they make the difference in the game. Yeah. So
there's one thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it's how to get the best out of a group. Not necessarily it has to be harmonious all the time. No. Right? But to get the best thing, sometimes you have conflicting energies, right?
Yes.
And one of the best examples of this is what I would look at is Misak and Mark Hartman. Those guys look like they hate each other, right? They hate each other. They're
scolding each other.
They're constantly bickering, even on the field. But they get a goal, they hug, they have a good little moment, and then what happens a few minutes later? Misak tees up Mark Hartman, then it's a second goal. And together, they don't like each other, maybe, or there's a lot of conflict between them. But if you put them together on the field, you get the best results.
That's just 2 strong personalities.
In my experience for all these years I'm in football, when you have good players, they have their own personalities. So one advice I give it in the beginning of the season to everybody, I said, I don't care what religion you are, what color you are, where you came from, beliefs, politics, whatever. We are one team here. When you have your problems, your girlfriend, economical, whatever it is outside the field, you cross the white line, leave your problems outside. Dedicate these 2 hours here, concentrate on what we're asking, and when you get out, you put back your problems and then you find the solution for that. Now, in the game, you don't have to be friends. You just have to give it results. So I don't say they are like enemies, but of course, it's like everybody have their own personalities. But this is what we have to do. We need to deal with the personality, not just 2 players, for 25 players. Everybody is a different world. That's why it's very important to have people with capacity to talking with the players and get the best of each player. I mean, one example is like against Ceres. I think Patrick Richard is fighting with one English guy. The argument, that looks bad. Why? Because you show the signals to the other team that, they're fighting each other. You give him more, you give us more ammunition to even make him more angry. And, that maybe happened in last year a little bit with some of the players, but we fixed that. And it's always going to be there, when you are good, when you have sponsors, when you are a celebrity, and the other guy is the same, who have more fans, who is more handsome, who have better girlfriends or whatever.
Who's got a bigger,
is
ego.
All that is a matter, because in the end of the day, if we don't winning by goal for somebody, it's all the team wins. It's the same like telling to the keepers, you know what, doesn't matter who's playing, victory is for everybody. So, and we lose everybody. So,
exactly.
we just trying to be more the egos down and working really hard. That's the philosophy of Global now. And, it success, but of course, it's always going to be something. Otherwise, what a boring job we have.
That's an interesting aspect of it, huh? Like, you guys have to manage all of that, obviously.
I mean, for instance, series, they have also a lot of superstars.
Oh, yeah.
So I believe also there is some conflicts over there. So now is a chance for the coaches to fix that. Maybe in Loyola as well, and in Kaya, because
you need number one. I would say, if you're the daddy of the family, you need to put your foot down. You cannot be a softie as a coach. I don't care how good you are tactically, okay, or how good you train, but if you don't have the personality, you might as well quit, because it's not going to change the team any. It's not going to. I've seen this in 35 years of coaching.
You mean as a coach?
As a coach.
Right.
If you're the head coach, as the head coach, you don't have the personality to control your teams or your players, then I don't care how good you are. You're not going to get the result. Point in mind, here's the Netherlands team.
Okay.
Of even way back. Johan Cruyff was already retired for about a few years after he was coaching Barca. Team of Johnny Rep, my favorite team. Orange Clockwork, right? When they followed after Johan Cruyff's time. I forgot who the coach was, but the Netherlands team was the most talented, even more talented than the Brazilians or the Italians. But they didn't tactically, individually also. I don't know what year. But the coach couldn't handle them because they were all, since we're talking about egos, they're all superstars. Not just in the Netherlands, but mostly abroad. In Spain, in England, and all that. And it came out from the players' mouths themselves. If it was Johan Cruyff, the only reason why Johan Cruyff wasn't able to coach that team was because he didn't have that freaking license, supposedly, okay? But all the players, they don't only look up to Johan Cruyff, they don't look up to him as a fan, but he's the idol in the Netherlands. He's been an idol in the Netherlands, even in the world, for more than a decade, okay? If it was Johan Cruyff who was coaching, he would have been able to demand. Okay, I think that's the word here, demand, because the coach that was handling the team there couldn't demand from his players.
Right.
He didn't have that much charisma. He couldn't, tell off the players, because when he says something, you can see the players talking back.
Right.
You do that to me, and you'll get more.
Just back with Miss and Mark. I mean, I just want to say this: they're really professional. So sometimes we have. Different opinions. Maybe the players don't agree or they agree, but in the end of the day, the results is the one is back of the coaches. Sometimes players they thinking we are crazy doing something. It's not like what are they expecting. When you win, now they see the thing. Okay, that works. Now, in global, is like the internal competition is so hard. You mentioned one player, a starting member. You take it off, put another one. The team will win. So now to be in the starting 11 is no a favoritism, is because we have the best of the best. Yeah, and I can say that for these two players, Harman and Misa, they're working really, really hard. So that's why they are there. And you say, sometimes it's like we try to fix these kind of things, but one step at a time. Yeah.
It seems as if there's like a difference in sort of the way they want to play the game, but all the pent up sort of frustration that they have it seems to do the team well, you know, as a whole, because then they play harder, they play stronger, show you that, you know, maybe your approach is better or not as good as mine, but the end result, like you said, is what matters.
Psychologically,
But
because
that is what I say.
win.
That is be professional.
Yeah.
It boils out only out of the urge to win.
Yes.
One mistake, like Jorge said, if two players or more than two players are really good players, known players and all this, but good, number one, in football, they're good. One mistake, they expect a lot more from your team, from the teammate.
Yeah.
Because everybody gives their 110% during training. And the coach would only, there's a lot of people here don't understand why this game, this is the first 11. The next game, it's a different first 11. I mean, even if you put one change player, that's a different first 11. People don't understand. Let's say Team A and Team B play. Next game of Team A is Team C. Team C is Team C, it's not Team B.
Right. It's a different problem. Yeah.
Freaking Global Loyola, okay. Next game, Global Ceres. Ceres is not Loyola.
Yeah.
So you have to think, even in basketball, people think change.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all, what you should understand is the tactical. I understand you got your favorite players, fans. So people are saying, oh, why is so-and-so sitting down? Why is he not playing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, If you see a player not in uniform, only two things. Only two things. Injured or suspended. Case closed.
Or not part. Well, or in the part of global, sometimes you have so
Not
many
part
good
of the
players, not part of the
starting list.
substitutes bench. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame sometimes when we do the lineup and the subs, and then you see the guys, they want to sit in the stands. These guys could be starting members, no problem, but you can only play with 11.
Yeah.
And I think the difference that we do in our club is like we just don't have 11 strong players.
Yeah.
We have 20 players. You say you take one team out or you take another in and still winning games of football. But how you motivate players to keep winning? Because I give one example, my goalkeepers. Sadia is a monster. Is amazing the way he training, the way his aptitude is always positive. Bam, 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 bam. And I tell you, go on the bench. And then it's coming Patrick, and it's play amazing, clean sheets. The same as Sadia, same as and then I can put Jun. Boom, the same. So how do you motivate these players, or how do you know you lose them? Because if one play and the other was gonna be like, oh, but I'm training hard as well.
Yeah.
So you have to rotate as well. Not sometimes who is B or who is C or B or whatever. In my case, in these keepers, I had the best keepers in the country. That I can put in that in the table. I argument with anyone. I had the two best goalkeepers in the country. And how can motivating these guys to don't slow down? It's a very challenge show. But again, it is like you say. It's not A, B, C. Sometimes you have everybody's E.
Yes.
How do you rotate and keep the motivation? That's the challenge for the coaches.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting job.
I know. That's right. I can tell, man. Like it's fascinating. You must always be having to stay on top of the players. How are they feeling at this particular point in time? What did I do in this last game and all of that? I mean, I'm sure it takes up a lot of your time even away from the training pitch. Like you said, you're always thinking about the football. Speaking of, just real quick, I have to
we've never even got through the rundown.
I know, that's why.
Jorge, you're the only guest that has done that to us. So I don't know why.
But it's all good. I mean, it's always,
of course.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
No problem.
That's fun. Just speaking about global real quick here, obviously they have a lot of things going on. They just beat Yada Narbonne FC here in the Philippines Stadium. That was history. 2 goals from Matt Hartman, 1 from Bahador and 1 from Gonzalez in that one. And Global are set to face Pahang FC on May 13. So that's going to be a big game.
What, in the Philippines Stadium also?
I think so. We want to play there again.
Okay.
Nice.
They are really happy.
Does Dan have buses to transport the fans?
I think it's some kind.
Can you send me a taxi or Uber and so pick me up?
It's some kind of supporting for the fans. I believe so, but I don't know the details very well.
Yeah.
But it's not too far, Hans. I think you can go on a bike.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I'd rather ride with my than Metro Manila.
But yes, so those are some of the games, and if you're just going to take a look at the World Cup qualifying schedule real quick, we're in Group H, and it's not an easy group to be in. Uzbekistan, Bahrain, North Korea, and Yemen are the teams that are joining the Philippines in Group H of the World Cup qualifiers. It's a difficult group, but is it an impossible group? No. I don't think so. Is it, Coach Jorge?
For me, when I saw, well, first of all, see Philippines there.
Yeah.
For me, I am so excited.
Right.
Just to see that you have a possibility to compete, to go to the World Cup. I think that not happened before in this stage.
It has, but nobody ever took that seriously because, like I said earlier in the first part of the show, before we even start, we lost.
You know, now it's different timings. Now you have more information for the other teams.
Yes.
You can prepare better. I believe maybe it's better players now than before. You know, I want to talk an always good thing about the staff over there. If you prepare very good your games, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go already, many people, like you say, it's like, oh, it's difficult, we have this, we have, but so what? You want to go to the World Cup, you have to beat these teams. Otherwise, you want to go for what? So, you know, I have the confidence they can go through, but I'm not part of the team anymore. But
you know,
I always have the confidence. When you are facing a tournament, you have to go to win.
Of course. Me, to be straight out forward, I've said it with my interview in PT before. I said that I am confident that the Ascals would get at least 6 points.
6 points.
At least 6 points. If it's 2 rounds, is it home and away?
I think it's home and away.
I believe it's home and away.
Then we can get 12 points.
Wow. I think that would be enough for us
That's
to
what I'm
qualify.
saying. No, that's my prediction.
I think
Easy,
I mean, since when did the Philippines even get 1 point?
easy is not going to be. But impossible is not. So it's just, you know, everybody has to be in the same channel, positive, and I think they have a shot. But
you know, with a coach like Thomas Dooley, all the things that I have to tell players for the Ascals, if you're listening, you need to look at your coach as a World Cupper. He has the experience. He's the only one in the organization of the Ascals who has twice, I think, right?
Yeah. And he captained the USA team. I
think. He has World Cup experience. And I'm talking not the qualifiers, I'm talking the real World Cup. And he was the captain of one the last time that he was for the US team. That alone should propel you a little bit to a higher level. And think about that. Have trust in your coach, you know. No bullshitting about like the past before. I knew they're going to come back. I told you to come back. You got to eat your shit. Anyway, the coach is a coach. You cannot beat the coach. Because the only one who's going to kick the coach out will be the PFF or Dan Palami.
Right.
Period. Not the players. Sorry. You're not that powerful. Not even Pele can do that.
Right.
Not even Pele can do that. None of the superstars in the world can do that. Say, I'm not going to play if this guy's the coach. Screw you. You know why?
Well, I guess you're not playing. I guess you're not playing.
No. You're going to lose millions.
No, exactly. So I guess
because the fans of the clubs that you're playing in will disrespect you. No more respect. I mean, what kind of a player are you, right?
Sure.
So think about that, number one. And then just go with the flow.
Sure.
Continue training. But I would like to really see Jorge there still, you know, but, you know, not just because Jorge is here. He gave me cigarettes again after, but...
But Bahrain, June 11th, that's the first one we got to look out for. That's going to be a big one. We got a lot of time to
Where are they playing?
Get ready for that. Actually, I'm not particularly sure. These are the home games. No, so Bahrain, June 11th. This is a day before Independence Day, so it should be a fun day for us to come out and support the team. And Bahrain, we played them in a friendly recently, and they didn't play us off the pitch that game. They didn't.
Can I pitch in a little bit for the Ascals for Philippine football? We need more exposure in the media. I don't think there's enough. You know, Facebook is just Facebook, man. Bring on the papers, bring it everywhere, bring it out on TV and everything. It's only Studio 23, I think.
Well, that's kind of a network politics type situation.
I don't give a shit about that. We're talking about for the Philippines. Since when were we hyped up for World Cup qualifying? Never, ever. Now that we have the chance, okay? Guys, Pacquiao, that's next week already, so no problem. After that, just put a little bit more for the Ascals. The boys are going to do everything. No one's going to go out of the country and play for the qualifying for the World Cup just to lose. One thing damn sure is the team, the Ascals, the coaching staff, everybody else there will do their best. The damnedest to go. I mean, you have a chance, like Jorge said earlier. You should be excited. You have a chance to go through to the World Cup. Everybody's been saying, oh, fuck, the Philippines will go there not during our lifetime. Not during our lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm also one of them to say that, I'll be honest. But I said that years ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little bit more confident because we can do this slowly. Jorge said it also. Scouting before, you need to go to the country to scout. You don't need to do it now. You got the videos, you got everything else, everything's there. So trust the coaching staff to start studying all the other teams. And I think when it comes to the ASCALs, screw the egos. You're playing for flag and country.
Yeah.
You're playing for flag and country. For a club, okay, fine. Because if somebody's getting paid higher than this guy, then he can talk more. If I was a player and you were my teammate and you were hired, you were earning more than me, and then you're going to tell me off, you're going to use that money for the hospital bill. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, ASCALs, you need to go.
Yeah, of course, everybody's on a level playing field.
But bring it out more, media. Bring it out more.
The rundown.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, guys, you're killing me, bro. We're part of the show together, and you're not letting me do my job here. Uzbekistan, September 8th. Yemen, November 12th. North Korea, March 29th. Very interested to find out, are we allowed to travel to North Korea to support the team? Are they gonna let us back out after North Korea? I don't know how that works.
No,
But
we're not white, son.
yeah, I don't know how that
Only
works.
the white guys will have a hard time.
So those are 4 dates,
I
okay?
have a family name Japanese, so maybe no good idea.
Maybe not a good idea. Huh? June 11, September 8, November 12, and March 29, the Philippine Sports Stadium in Bulacan is likely to be the setting for all of these games. So pinpoint them on your calendars and make sure you prepare to make the trip.
Maybe next time we can show them a map on how to get to the Philippine Stadium.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure a lot are interested. Just look how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I mean,
You guys got the chance to play there. I hear the grass was maybe need a little bit of work.
I mean, you go there, just simple to have a dressing room, like nicely. It's already in the players like a different motivation.
Right.
So you go to the field already like motivated.
Yeah.
Rizal is like, I don't talking bad about Rizal, but it's different.
Next show for the hands-on fans, we'll have a sketch or a map. Although we don't need to actually, there's GPS already, that shit. But we'll still give it to you the easiest way out. I think the easiest way is to get out on NLEX, right?
Yeah.
Exit. I don't know which exit. After that exit, you know already. Okay, Bukawe.
I think it's an exit straight to the stadium now. They open a new exit, go straight to the stadium. You don't have to do all the laps.
See what money can do in religion? Okay. That's another story. Okay.
All right. We're expecting Schrock to be back. He's Kiston made up with.
Has he already been training?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but he is now in consideration to coming back. Not sure how Thomas is going to feel about that after the public spat that they had. But there are new recruits as well: Lane Ramsey, Stephen Pala, and Luke Woodland. Some interesting prospects that we're going to be.
Are those sure in?
Not yet.
I mean, in the pool?
I believe so, yes.
They've sent their intentions already, they know that.
As well as Javier Patiño, but I don't know how that's going to pan out, considering that Javier Patiño gets...
From what I heard, his club didn't want to release him.
Yeah, so that's going to be the biggest issue, I think.
No, it's just like I said in the beginning, it's so exciting, and you have more ammunition over there. So, I don't like to people's, it's difficult. No, you have to go from the fans for everybody in one way, and why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
You know what? I'll tell Thomas, you got to listen and look between the lines with some of these players. I would think that, I hope I'm wrong, okay? But why didn't these players come out before for the Suzuki Cup, Challenge Cup, and all this shit? But why now only for the World Cup? Why? Because it's the World Cup. You play in the World Cup, you get bigger viewership, scouts abound, and all that. So let's hopefully, I hope I'm wrong, that these guys are here not because of that, just to get a better contract.
Yeah.
But I hope you are coming in here to really just play for the Philippine flag and country, right?
Yeah.
Not just for your personal, how do you say?
Agenda.
Personal agenda.
I'm going to be diplomatic and say that the
you do that. I'll be the
reason
asshole.
why they're going to be available for this one is because World Cup qualifying dates are going to be set during FIFA mandated breaks as well. So they're going to be free for sure from their club duties. We'll see if they
Bakit
manage
Suzuki
to
ka pa
do that.
wala?
Suzuki Cup is played at a time that is
Challenge Cup,
in
hindi?
conflict. Challenge Cup, I think you should have been allowed. I'm not particularly sure on that, but at Suzuki, I'm sure
Okay.
it runs into conflict. With,
Like I said, I hope I'm wrong.
yeah,
I hope I'm wrong.
hopefully.
But as a coach, I gotta think about that behind my back. It's
Right.
There's the little guy with the horns that telling me this could be happening, right?
So this weekend, we're going to have a break from UFL action, at least in terms of club football, but there will be an all-star weekend happening.
you heard the picture of the players.
So, so real quick, April 25th at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. That is a Saturday. And there's going to be 3 games to look out for. The first ever Western Visayas Classic is going to be taking place at 5:15. I'm going to be calling that game alongside Sidaf Tupa, so that should be a lot of fun. Iloilo versus Negros
I'll be the match
Occidental,
commissioner for that.
and that's going to be fun. After that, we're going to have a UFL Youth 100 players up against 11 professional UFL players. That should be a mess.
Sana walang pikod ng UFL player, no?
Yeah,
Bata eh.
elbow dropping kids,
Kicking the kids,
clothesline.
get out of here.
Yeah.
100.
So that should be fun. And then, of course, after that is the UFL All Filipino versus Rest of the World. That's going to be happening at 8:15. That's sort of the main attraction. And you're looking at some of the players that will take part in that. This is the All Filipino team, as you can see. Attackers at the top, midfielders in the middle, and the defenders at the bottom. No goalkeeper. No, Patrick Dato is there as the goalkeeper.
Michael.
And one thing
Luis
that you will
Michael and
see here
Patrick.
as a trend, as we show you now the rest of the world lineup, Roland, oh, it's Baba Sampana. Wow, I thought it was Roland Sadio who was going to be the goalkeeper. I was going to say Coach Jorge was responsible for both goalkeepers, but it's Baba Sampana from Team Socceroo. Has he been playing for Team Socceroo?
No, I don't know.
I'm confused because
I mean, it's the fans.
Hasegawa has been playing
the
for-
fans have been the one who chose this.
Well, this is one headache I don't have to. But
Never mind. Don't wreck your bridge about it. It's just one game.
like I told you before, the 2 best goalkeepers in the country,
Yeah.
they're in that game.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence.
yeah.
Hopefully they play.
Hopefully. So there you
Mention the
go.
coaches of the teams.
And of course, Simon McMenemy is going to be leading the rest of the world selection, while the All Filipino is led by Ceres Lasal Football Club's very own Ali Go.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Finally got through the rundown. It started at the beginning of the show. It ended at the end of the show. But one more thing. We have to
Wait.
talk about this.
Wait. No.
I will not be interrupted for this one.
No, wait. I'll interrupt you.
Okay.
For the FA and UFL and anybody else from the media,
Yeah.
I've been planning this last year. That I said if we're going to do an all-star, maybe next time we can do a quadruple meet of halves playing halves. 2 days on a weekend. You call it an all-star weekend. It's only a Saturday.
Yeah, let's do Sunday. Like,
If you talk about a weekend, you talk about Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So you can do this. Just an idea. 4 teams, all Filipino, all Asian, all African, and Western.
Western.
And the rest. Yeah.
Western meaning like
Australia, British, the Brits, the Americans, or whatever.
What about the Mexicans?
yeah. What about
You're the rest of the world. I'm not being racist here. What are white Mexicans?
What about the people who speak Spanish? There's a lot.
Yes, no, it's right. All local, all Asian, the Koreans, whatever, Japanese. That's it.
Indians
Asian.
and whatever,
and then,
I guess.
And then all African.
Yeah,
And then the rest of the world.
the rest of the world.
Yeah. And then play 2 week on Saturday, Sunday. One team play, the 2 teams play 45 minutes. You rest. Play 45 minutes. You rest. Then play again. This team again. Locals again.
But you're talking about the UFL players, dude?
Yes.
Man, coaches are gonna have a field day with this.
All-star.
Telling my players to play 2 games in a row, stuff like this.
45 minutes. Just a half.
But-
for the day.
Great idea. But we have to move on to the main
Okay, go.
event
You take it slow,
of
man.
our rundown. Thanks for all the interruptions. The De La Salle Alumni Association would like to
Ooh.
present Juan La Salle's Night of Excellence
Look
in
at that. I'm the
honor
only guy smiling.
of the 2015 DLSAA Sports Hall of Fame awardees. I think we had a round of applause at the start of the broadcast. We got Hall of Fame awardee,
you.
Coach Hans. It's an
Thank you,
absolute
thank you.
honor to be doing this show with you.
Thank you.
And for a man who is being considered, or is, a Hall of Fame inductee
Just to be considered,
the
this already.
history of De La Salle University, the school where I graduated from. Coach Hans has always been an icon ever since I was before in high school. Heading into La Salle, I already knew about Coach Hans. Leaving and doing this show with him is kind of a weird proposition for me to be here next to you, this guy,
I don't know how to
for
take
so
that.
many weeks. You know.
Is that a compliment?
And
or?
no, it's just because you're an icon. You know, it's like it's almost like you're not human. And
Stop
then
using the
to
word
be here-
icon. Icon means old.
and I believe you're a little old. You're a little old. You're a
okay.
little old.
Okay,
I
I'll
mean, you've
take
had
that,
3
I'll take that.
decades coaching in the Philippines.
More than 3 decades.
But more than well deserved, steering the De La Salle University program, footballing program, to the heights that it is at right now. Not just in the college setup, but also in terms of the grassroots with De La Salle Isabel. So much quality comes out of those camps and those programs, and a large part of that is because of Coach Hans. So for him to be considered for this, absolutely deserved, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, thank you. That's tomorrow, by the way.
So that's the.
You gotta wear a suit again.
Yeah. Wow,
I,
wearing a
look like
suit.
I have to look like a human being tomorrow.
Yeah, long hair and the beard, coming in a motorcycle.
Hey, I
but
plan
in
to wear a suit, but with white rubber shoes. Make a statement.
You got to keep the style there, sir. All right, so let's take a look at the 12th man before we wrap up the show. This is the opportunity for us to sort of hear what the fans have been saying. And I want to say hello to all the fans who have been supporting the program since the very beginning, and saying hello to Carson as well, who one of the fans who's just kind of new. He's from Australia. He picked up the show. He wanted to know about Philippine football, and now he's watched all our past episodes and has been spreading it to his friends.
Good day, mate.
I appreciate it, brother. So 12th man time. Pico, can we roll that?
You see our people, Jorge?
It's about technique. It
You
has to be
see
like
our staff here? Really quick.
The technique's a little off,
if
Coach
you go
Jorge
like
says.
this, the ball gonna go through.
I know, I was about to say
Yeah,
that.
you got to fix that a little bit. One more Twitter question and 2 comments from Reddit. Ooh, we got a Reddit thing going as well. Look at this. We're all over the
And the
internet.
comments are...
So real quick, just check. Who should be the Ascal's first choice keeper for the World Cup qualifiers? Who should be number 1? There's Neil Etheridge, Roland Mueller, there's Patrick Dato, and Nick O'Donnell, who's nipping on the sidelines. So, Coach Jorge.
I think it's also one player is playing in
Thomas
Paris.
Trigo. Oh, and then there's another one. Yeah, that's right.
So I think maybe it's a chance over there. I don't know. I'm just. I'm sure the whatever is taking part over there is. I mean, hopefully I try to think they will put the best. No, somebody is just because it's a good friend of or coaches or whatever. They need to put the best of the best, and whatever it is. In the moment, I can tell you now one player maybe get injured tomorrow. Hopefully
yes,
no.
You never know. Yes.
But I think the place is by the moments. So in that moment, they need to go for the best. I don't know who's going to be over there.
If you're going to be asked Jorge about who's got more experience at this level, who would it be? I mean, Patrick, of course, obviously will be down there. Nick will be down there.
Sure.
So it'll be between Neil and Roland.
Well, it is those 2 players, like I said, had to be at the moment. Because Roland is very strong technically, and his presence, commands as well. Neil is a monster, so also is very good in the air, and his commands, you can feel safe because you have somebody very solid in the back. But by the moment, maybe in that particular moment, somebody's better than another. You have to choose the best, always the best.
But by experience.
By experience, well,
Who's ahead? Neil's got more years, or Roland's got more years?
It's more like I said, the different kind of style of playing. They have all the experience in Europe.
Okay.
Just playing the competitive games in Europe, automatically you're on another level from Philippines. But like I say, by the moment, sometimes it's by the moment.
True.
And even you in Division 2 and Neil is in Division maybe A, B or whatever it is, it's by the moment.
Yeah, the Netherlands the find of the World Cup, the Dutch keeper who's the second keeper. What's his name?
Krullo, no, he's gone for the penalty.
No.
Van Halten.
No, not this late. No, I'm talking about the last. I'm talking about past.
Van der Sar?
No, way before him.
No,
He was a second division. He was a second division keeper. But he was a first choice
I was a baby.
for the World Cup.
Coach,
Don't say that. You're a baby. What that'll make me, man.
Coach, you were just talking about that you're not that old, and then you come up with this kind of trivia.
No, because in history, because it's in the history books of the World Cup.
No, it is.
Right.
He's the only second division keep that played so well.
Sure.
And when he came back after the World Cup, he became a first division.
What happened to many players, like in 1990 in Italy, what's the name? The striker, Toto Schilacci. He was the Division 2, and they call him El Salvatore della Patria because every key game he's scoring goals, and he's playing in Division 2 in Italy, and they're becoming a big icon.
Wasn't Bartes also?
Bartes?
No, wasn't he also second division? Before? Or just he was relegated. He was just a newly promoted to first division.
I have memory. He going to the national team when Roberto Carlos made that amazing free kick. That was a mini tournament by FIFA. They played with the 4 strongest teams in the club countries in the world: Italy, Brazil, France, and maybe Germany. I'm not sure. So they play these 4 teams, and that's the first time I saw Bartes, but I don't remember whether he.
And he was not a big.
He was a small guy.
Like what's his name? Campos.
Yeah.
And he's the one who started the new fashion in goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Actually, his sleeves were quite a little bit longer. Then became short and short, but he started it.
Yeah.
He started in the colorful jerseys of the keepers.
But there's a reason for that. I mean, everybody just talking about the colors, but he was for a beach. The name is Acapulco, and he was a surfer. So they always using this color. But one time he was training. He find out every time he go out, the striker shoot to him, and they ask him why. So because when I receive the ball and I want to look at the goal, I had no time. I just see this flash. So the ball is go through him all the time. So he played all this color, and it's psychological. When a player have the ball, you shoot to the color.
Yes, just like the bull. It's not a bull. It's not of red. The bull is color blind. It's just a freaking cloth. The red one is just to add flair to the matador for the fans. But it's nothing to do with the red. Red. What do you call this?
No, but this one is
because of the color. I heard about this. That's why. You will recognize that it's like a bright green neon or a bright pink or whatever it is. It's always like that now at the professional level.
It's keeping your eyes here. Even you want to hit the ball. You see this thing is moving. Automatically you lose concentration a little bit. Of course, more high level. You don't see this. But it's getting a lot of.
Will you agree with me, Jorge?
Always.
The hikita, sip-sip talaga. He's been here in the Philippines quite longer, so he knows how to make sip-sip. You know sip-sip, no? The word sip-sip?
No.
Vacuum, you know?
Blowing smoke. I don't want to know that.
No, the hikita.
Yeah.
Very talented keeper, but the craziest keeper I've ever seen. Do you agree? Or is there somebody crazier than him?
You have to be crazy to play that position.
That's true. The keepers are eccentric. Supposedly. But the way he's styled, I mean.
He's actually an icon. He's I think one of the best thing I ever see in my life. Not just in the World Cups. Also, I follow in the Copa Libertadores. He played in a final. And he scored one free kick against River Plate when River Plate was the best team in the world in that time, better than any European clubs. He go and score a free kick. It's on YouTube. You can find that goal. Free kick by Higuita is amazing. But he have the things when everybody criticize him because it's something new. Go out of the box, control the ball, play.
Dribble,
And no, he's no good. Well, he stopped many goals like that. And one, he make a mistake. But if you see they get the ball. He squared the ball to the right side, and that guy, he don't create the ball. He give it back under pressure.
Yes.
And he tried to dribble
against Cameroon.
And Roger Milla was he stole the ball and goal. So they thinking, you see, we telling this guy's no good. No.
Yes,
he changed the football, the way you play right now. Him and Campos go to FIFA, and they say keeper touch a player is a red card, but they have the limitations. Only 4 steps. And you had to release the ball. So they said, okay, give me free time. Give me 7 seconds. I can move wherever I want because you limit times to us. You want to make the ball bigger and you make the balls faster, and but we don't have any benefits. So these 2 guys, they go to FIFA and change
the rule. So they don't change that rule.
They change the rules. When you catch the ball, you have the freedom to move whatever you want, but you have 7 seconds. 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Sometimes they give you, in Philippines, they give you 20 seconds.
But it's another Latin American goalkeeper who is in history, the only keeper who has scored the most goals is the Peruvian.
No, he's Brazilian.
Was it Brazilian? No, Paraguay.
No, Chilaver. No, but there's another one. He scored more goals. He over 100 goals.
What?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Rogero Seji.
How does he score?
Sao Paulo.
How does he score 100 goals?
Search on YouTube, you will see. Most likely
Free kicks.
penalties, but the free
Yeah.
kicks is a specialist.
Wow.
Actually, it's a moment when he scored his 100 goals. The goal is amazing. I mean, it's not just easy goals; it's actually quality.
Right.
It's easy for YouTube. Just go. What's his name?
He's a keeper from Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
And he's Seji. He's I don't know how to spell, but it's Seji. I believe so.
YouTube.
All right, guys, we got to wrap this one up. We got a couple more questions that we will receive from the fans. And we'll throw it over to Coach Jorge. This one's from NJ Joaquin. Coach Jorge pala ang guest. My question is, how does Philippine football compare to the Japan and Mexico? Wow, that's...
Why is everybody
years.
laughing? Well, it's of course it's different. The culture here in Philippines is more basketball, I believe. It's the most popular game or sports in Philippines. And football is changing. When I come in the first time, I go to a sports shop. I want to get one shirt, like from the national team and from the club.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Yeah,
They don't have it. And right now you can find even Division 2 shirts. Thank you to your sponsor.
Yeah.
They put in all the shirts over there.
Yeah.
And the sponsor for Global as well. They have the shirts now. And it's changing. They start to making a culture of football. Something I want to suggest to you guys, do this, I don't know, after the weekend, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and you're talking what happened in the UFL.
Yeah.
And, you invite players or coaches or whatever, and discussions, and, maybe a federation or head coaches, or sometimes you can put coaches and players, and, just,
banter.
just not to put into fight, just to talking about and create the expectation for everybody. The difference in Mexico and Philippines is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's like everybody in Mexico want to play football professional. If 100 kids, 95 kids, they want to be a professional footballer. So to make it through is very tough. Here, you are looking for Filipinos. It's like you see somebody is just moving with the ball. You're signing right away because, well, in the past, now you get a little more picky. But you have a lot of football network. Everybody's talking about football. National team, clubs, is totally different. But Philippines is going there little by little. Compared with Japan, in Japan it's all discipline.
Yeah.
And it's more, I don't know, not robotic, but it's more like they don't have what they have in Mexico. Sometimes they call it cheating. Some people they call it smart. I don't dive in, I hate that, but sometimes you pull in the shirt and win the ball, or like Japan don't do that. They don't touch in each other's.
Yeah.
It's changing.
Yeah.
It's changing. They have some coaches. They have last year a Mexican coach, so they try to, inject that to them.
Yeah.
But the time was not enough. And Philippines, they have aggression. They are smart.
Definitely.
They can,
Play hard.
play with heart, and they have the spirit of Pacquiao. I like that. I compare the national team, the Aztecas, with the heart of Pacquiao. We always put in this guy like an icon, and I'm a big fan of Pacquiao as well.
Yeah.
So football is changing. The mix of the strong heart of Filipino with the technical of now what we bring in here is amazing.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
This was already from NJ. A follow-up question: what is his dream for himself in relation to football? That's a great question, and we haven't had an opportunity to ask you about your ambitions. Obviously, you're here in the Philippines now. Is that going to be a prolonged thing? And what is your absolute goal?
Well, in football, you never finish to learning. I think by the day you say I know everything is when you don't know anything. Yeah. So I always like to learning a lot. I like to traveling to see another footballs, whatever. My target in Philippines is trying to help the Filipino football in many areas, youth, national team, clubs, everything. So far I'm doing okay, but maybe not enough. And the plans near future is I like to global be again win the league, win every competition that we are there. And in the future, if I get an offer for something else or something better than here, it had to be something better because I don't want to leave this country. I'm very pleased. I feel already local here. So the near future is I'm stay here for maybe 1 or 2 years. Yeah, this is what I want to do.
Okay. There no specific areas yet that you're looking to move on from. after here in the Philippines? Let's say after a year or two.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, we want a progression. No, I don't want to be always in the same place.
Yeah.
I never correct. I never be like this. I always moving to getting better. But by the moment, it's like one of the hopes I have is keep working really hard. Maybe I get called again with the national team, but if not, I need to focus in my team. And you know, it's not an obsession, but I just want to work in so hard that my results bring me back to the position that I had last year. Nice. And yeah, and I wish, if it's not happening, I still wishing all the best luck for the national team.
Okay. Questions from Reddit, I believe we had. This one's coming from Keep Calm, Roll On. For football fans, I'll recommend Coach Hans Smith's show, Hands On. Aside from the fact that Coach Hans is such a character, he and Jing can get some pretty insightful conversation going with the guests. Not a question, just sort of a comment, which we appreciate. Thanks for showing us some love. Is there one more of those?
Is there one more?
We'll take a look or wait. Yeah, I enjoy watching Hands On via YouTube on the Xbox. Wow. It's great watching the show on an actual TV and not on a computer. I'm a big football fan and I do wish they produce the show more often. It's also funny to watch Coach Hans Smith swear. Wrong spelling on the name. Wrong spelling, boy. No H on that one.
I'm not German.
Yeah, but yeah, it's always fun. And
thank you for the comments.
Man, appreciate it. You guys sending your love our way. And if you are watching the show, then you can see the Twitter handles. If not, then it's at Coach Hans Smith with no H. Find him on Twitter, and I'm Jing Hamlang, JingJamlang, and you can throw us your love that way as well. We really do appreciate it. Coach Jorge, absolute pleasure, sir.
Always is a pleasure.
Thank you, Jorge.
Guys. Thank you for the invitation.
And before we end up, we just want to do this magazine for my friend.
Oh shit, look at that. What a good looking fellow. And obviously this is green, so it's gonna look orange on your screens, but it's green and it's kind of see-through right now, but look at that. Good looking man on this incredible bike that is called the Black Mamba, by the way. That's its name. And check it out, Animal 12.
You can buy in all Buffini magazine stores, and at the it's called the Fully Booked bookstore. Yeah. They have branches at the Rockwell, at the Alabang Town Center, and in Mega Mall.
This Fully Bookstore, yeah, I'm sure everybody knows what that is. That's like a national bookstore, basically.
Malemo ticket, restaurant, Fully Booked.
Right? So Fully
Movie
Booked,
house.
Check it out. Animal 12.
Gusto ko naman magkano kayo? Mag-comment kayo kung sino mas magandang pumorma, si Padilla ba yun? Anong pangalan nun? Daniel Padilla o itong... huwag si Daniel Padilla. Si ano na lang, si Robin Padilla. Yeah. Oh.
Look at that. What a beautiful looking man there.
Posing pa, hindi halata yung chan.
Totally not staged. That's super casual.
What's it on the top in that picture? No, in the.
That's right.
Yeah. What does it say on
there?
No smoke. That's hilarious.
That's a good advice.
That's hilarious.
That's a good advice for it. In Philippines, a lot of pollution. You have to smoke more.
Yeah.
To the Lasal brothers.
Yeah, this guy.
It was not my idea.
This guy.
It's not my idea. That was taken in front of the sports complex, the Eurozone sports complex in the LSU.
I think what they're just trying to show is Coach Hans is such a law-abiding citizen that near no smoking signs, he doesn't smoke. You know what I mean?
The rules. Thank you to Albert De Los Santos, who, by the way, is also another inductee for sports achievement at the LaSalle University. That's tomorrow. Thank you.
I enjoy all our shows here on Hands On, but this one's a little special for me. Coach Jorge, a lot of fun talking to you, sir. A lot of great insight, and I thought we covered a lot of ground today.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the rundown took forever.
Yeah.
This is the first time that the rundown took more than an hour to finish.
Yeah. It's not a goodbye. It's see you again. Guys.
Yeah, see you again very soon. Coach Jorge, is there anything that you'd like to say to any individuals that might be watching the show?
Hi, Mom.
Certain things that they should look out for, maybe some seminars or just to come out and support the global games, anything you'd like, just give you a moment to invite some people.
No, it's just like, again, invite to all the Filipinos to support the national team and the clubs. Like right now, we are in this competition and we have the opportunity to represent Philippines. I think we're doing well. And, it's like we're making history. So I like to invite the other teams. They want to come into this tournament to make it even better than what we do. Now we open the road. So it's going to be, I think, more easy for the other teams to reach even better range of this tournament. And, you know, I want to thanks again to Dan Palami to believe in the project that I presented to him in the beginning. And, you know, just to the people don't get confused, is Lee Manson is the head coach of Global FC, and I'm just the, you know, the assistant coach and the goalkeeper coach. It's important to the people know the role, because, you know, some people, they misunderstand it sometimes, but I just want to clarify that. And, you know, thank you to my family to support me in every country I go. They always supported me, and that's important for me. Have my family next to me, that I just can focus on my job. So thank you, Hans, and thank you to invite me to your show. I feel like I'm at home.
You know, I've noticed one thing. Yeah. All our foreign guests, coaches, young players, they never want to leave the Philippines. Yeah. Is it because the Filipinos are very hospitable, or the Filipinas are hospitable?
I think it's a combination of both.
Combination of both.
Yeah.
Because here we can do the laundry. Yeah. We do cook well. Yeah. I'm not being sexist before anybody says, I'm just joking.
Yeah, I know. What a way to get misconstrued at the end of the show.
So they want to know, so they'll think what's going to happen next show, right?
We're messing around, folks. But once again, thank you so much for the support. SRSSL Football Club, great and support that they show us every season that we do hands-on. Whether we are criticizing what they do or supporting, we're always supporting what they do. But they give us free reign to do whatever and talk about whatever. So we really appreciate that support that you guys throw our way. And to everybody who watches the show, you guys are amazing. And we're going to help make Philippine football greater day by day. All right, so catch us for the next Hands-On show. Follow us on Twitter. That is at HandsOnNMF. We'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you again, Ryan LGR.
The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.